Good morning, students. Last class we discussed what is the origin and formation of soil and index properties of soil and engineering properties of soil. And in last class we listed some of the index property as we already discussed. That is the water content, specific gravity, in situ density, and particle size distribution and consistency limit and relative density. These are the some of the index property of soil. Last class we discussed there is the water content. In water content determination, there are the three methods are there. First one is own dry method, pycnometer method, and rapid moisture meter method. As we know, own dry and pycnometer method we can conduct it in a laboratory, but rapid moisture content we can conduct it. This is not a 100% accurate, but we especially in the field we can get the water content approximately 90 to 95% accuracy. Okay, and in today's class, one of the index property of soil, that is specific gravity. As you know, specific gravity that is noted by G, that is capital G. In the last class, we derived some of the mathematical expression. In those mathematical expression, G act as an important role. A specific gravity depends on void ratio, water content, and porosity of soil, and that is that directly depends on bearing capacity of soil, is nothing but a strength of the soil. So specific gravity is one of the index property of soil. It is denoted by capital G. Okay, and why we have to conduct this experiment means I already discussed, to calculate the bearing capacity of soil, and one more is we have to design the foundation. Specific gravity value act as an important role. As we know, for the civil engineer, different civil engineering structure, the foundations are different. Sometimes we have to go for the shallow foundation, sometimes we have to go for the deep foundation. And for other civil engineering structure like metro and tunneling and high tension pole foundations, specific gravities are differ. Our foundation designs are differ. In those areas, specific gravity act as an important role. Here, we can calculate the specific gravity of the soil with the help of pycnometer. Pycnometer is the one of the, that is the apparatus to calculate the specific gravity of soil. It is completely, that is the glass content. In your BMT lab, in during the third semester in BMT lab, you conducted some of the experiment with respect to pycnometer. That is the specific gravity of sand, the specific gravity of soil. Those experiments you already conducted in BMT lab. Here, what are the apparatus are required? That is the pycnometer is required, weighing balance is required, and a glass rod for the stirring purpose. Glass rod is required. What is the procedure? First, we have to collect the pycnometer bottle completely empty. Means moisture content or water content is completely zero. That is the dry state. That is M1. And next one is we have to fill this soil. That soil is one dry soil sample passing 4.75 mmcu sample only. Means what we collected and what we are using the soil sample, those soil sample is completely one dry soil sample, and those soil sample should pass the 4.75 mmcu sample only, and filled one third of soil sample in a bottle. Take down the weight. That second one is pycnometer plus dry soil, that is called as an M2. And the next one is pycnometer plus soil plus water. Means after this second one, we have to fill the water. 1/4 is completely, that is the soil. Remaining portion we have to fill the water up to the tip level. Up to the tip level, we have to fill the water. Once we fill the water, we have to take down the, that is the weight. That weight is pycnometer, soil, and water, that is called as an M3. And next one is, fourth one is, again we have to remove the soil sample. Okay, and next fill the water completely, water, that is pycnometer plus water, that is M4. So finally, first one is empty weight of pycnometer, second one is pycnometer plus dry soil, that soil sample should be should pass us the 4.75 mmCu sample only. And next one is pycnometer water plus 1/4 of soil, and next one is pycnometer plus full of water. These are the four, that is the steps we have to follow, that is the procedure. After the taking the value of M1, M2, M3, M4 with the help of the mathematical expression, that is the specific gravity mathematical expression, that is M2 minus of M1 divided by M2 minus of M1 minus of M3 minus of M4. With the help of this mathematical expression, we can calculate the what is the specific gravity of given soil sample. This is the one of the index property of soil, that is the specific gravity. And the next one is determination of dry density of soil in place or in situ or in site. In technically in situ means it is nothing but in site or in place. Okay, why we have to calculate dry density? And what is the uses, what is the application of in situ density or density of soil? First one is for the determination of bearing capacity of soil. I already mentioned before, we have to design any foundation, any civil engineering foundation. For example, for the building foundation is different. In building only, MS building foundations are different, and residential building foundations are different, and depend upon the height of the, that is the buildings are that is the different foundation. And come to the other civil engineering structure like earthen dam, embankment, or road or tunnel. Okay, there are different, that is the foundations are there. We have to design the foundation. First more basic thing is, that is the bearing capacity of soil. With the help of the bearing capacity, then we can go for the foundation. What is the depth of the foundation, what is the width of the foundation, what is the thickness of the foundation, what are the reinforcement we have to add, what is the grade of the concrete, what is the mixture of, there is the cement, there is the fine aggregate, what is the earthwork excavation we can go. Means these are all come into picture once we calculated the bearing capacity of soil. So before we have to calculate the bearing capacity of the soil, density is required. So we have to calculate the density of soil. Okay, that is the application and uses of density. And second one is for the purpose of stability analysis for the natural slopes. Nowadays you can add these words, especially landsliding, slope stability. Means these are all common words. Nowadays we are listening these words because of instability, because of rainfall, because of deforestation. These are all some of the reasons. In technically, some of the slopes are failed, that is the natural slopes are failed because of instability or nothing but a reinforcement. Instability, improper, there is the improper, there is the reinforcement they are provided, and the cohesion value or nothing but a angle of internal friction value or binding capacity of each, that is the soil. Means these are all some of the common, that is the reasons for the slope stability, there is the failure of slope stability. Here also, before that we have to calculate what is the density of, that is the slopes. Before that is the giving the any proper, that is the improvement or stability to the slopes, we have to calculate the density. Then only we can come to conclusion for these kinds of slope we can give the these, that is the improvement, ground improvement or stabilization or proper reinforcement we can suggest based on the density of slope, that is the soil slope. And next one is for the determination of pressure on underlying strata. Means what are the pressures are acting on the underlying strata. Means for example, there is the high tension pole or electric pole. Okay, electric pole foundation is different. What are the upcoming, that is the loads are acting on the foundation, and what is the lateral force, and what is the longitudinal force, and what is the uplift force. Okay, based on these forces, what are the pressures are acting on the substrata or sub base. We have to calculate what is the pressures. Before that calculation of pressure, dry density of soil is required. And next one is for the calculation of settlement. Some of the buildings are settled unequal settlement, or some buildings are tilted because of they're not compacted the soil properly. At the same time, because of there is the groundwater table. If the groundwater table is too high and the voids are created at a high level, we can expect the more voids. At the same time, where a compaction, improper compaction, we are not maintaining the density of soil in a proper density of soil or required density of soil, then we can expect the settlement. Before the calculating the settlement, we have to calculate what is density of soil. And next one is the following are popular method find out the bulk density of soil. There are the two methods are there. First one is the core cutter method and the sand replacement method. First one is the core cutter method and sand replacement method. Core cutter method is useful only for the cohesive soil. Sand replacement method is useful only for the non-cohesive soil. For example, granular soil or some of the boulder soils. During the highway construction or road construction, there you have to calculate the density of road. You have to go for the sand replacement method. You can't go for the core cutter, because in the core there is any sharp edges are there. When you driven on the pavement surface, because of boulders, some of the edges are broken. So that why you can't go for the core cutter method. At the same time, you can't go for the sand replacement or the cohesive soil. When you go for the cohesive soil, because of settlement, you can't calculate the density. In the examination, they will not ask the direct questions like core cutter method or sand replacement method. They will ask calculate the density for the cohesive soil. Then you have to remember that is the core cutter method. And some of the examination they will ask calculate the density for the non-cohesive soil, then that is sand replacement method. What is the comparison between the cohesive soil and cohesion-less soil? In examination, you can expect 5 to 6 marks. What is the difference between or comparison between cohesive soil and cohesion-less soil? Cohesive soil is nothing but a clayey soil. Cohesion-less soil means is nothing but a sandy soil. Okay. Cohesive soil, particle size is less than 75 micron. Means during the sieve analysis, there is a set of sieves are there 4.75, 4.75, 3.46, 2.46, 1.18, 600, 700, 300, 425 micron, and 150, 75 micron sieve sample. Below that, there is a pan. Okay. During the sieve analysis in your BMT lab also, you conducted a same experiment in your BMT lab also. You can expect some of the there is the samples in the pan also. That soil sample we call it as a silt as well as the clay content. In which soil sample silt and clay content is more, we call it as a cohesive soil. In which soil sample silt and clay content is less, we call it as a coarse grained soil sample. And second one is plasticity. Clay soil sample, you can make it as in a round or ball with the help of the clay soil. So that wise, that is the good example of cohesive soil. In a sand, you can't make it as in a ball or round shape. So that wise, it is non-plasticity. Less void ratio. In a clay soil, you can't expect the void ratio because of small particles. Here in a cohesive soil, cohesionless soil, or nothing but a sandy soil, you can expect the more voids, because you can't expect the small voids. At the same time, you can't expect any cementous property in the cohesionless soil. And density is higher. Here density is less than the cohesive soil. Permeability is less. Yes, we especially clay, there is the clay material. We can use it as a name waterproofing agent. Okay, here in a sandy soil, voids are more. You can't expect the permeability. Means permeability is higher. Shear strength derived from the cohesion. Yes, C and pi value are nothing but a cohesion and angle of internal friction. cohesion and angle of internal friction you can derive with the help of shear strength parameter. Here shear strength parameter is derived the friction, means cohesion value C is the, you can expect the C value, cohesion less value you can expect the friction value is nothing but a pi value, angle of internal friction value. It is the core cutter. I already discussed there are the two methods are there, core cutter method and sand replacement method. In core cutter method, there are the apparatus are there, cylindrical core cutter, steel dolly, steel rammer, straight edge and weighing balance. These are the apparatus are required to calculate the density with the help of the core cutter. In a diagram you can see first one is the rammer and second is the dolly and next one is the core cutter. What is the test procedure? First, decide where we have to calculate the density of soil. Before that, you have to check the soil whether there is the cohesive soil or cohesionless soil. Core cutter soil is useful only for the cohesive soil. Okay. Once check it whether there is the cohesive soil or cohesionless soil. After the deciding the cohesion soil or cohesionless soil, then make the surface level and clean with the help of the suitable equipments. Clean it. Afterwards, take down the empty weight of core cutter, that is WC. Take down the empty weight of the core cutter with dolly. Okay. Take down the empty weight of, that is the core cutter. And next one is after the way taking the weight, that is the weight of core cutter, empty weight of core cutter. With the help of the rammer, it the core, okay, it is easily penetrated into the soil and without any disturbing the soil sample, excavate the core with the soil, that is wet soil, then that is weight of core plus wet soil. Then you can calculate what is the volume of core cutter. Volume of core cutter is nothing but a height, length and diameter. With the help of the diameter you can calculate the area into height you can calculate what is the volume of core cutter. And next one, with the help of the moisture content cup. Okay, in the last class we discussed how to calculate the moisture content of wet soil. With the help of the empty cup or container, we have to calculate what is the empty weight of the cup, that is W1, and cup plus wet soil, that is W2. Then cup plus dry soil means after 24 hours, okay, we can find out the what is the water content with help of wet of cup plus dry soil. With help of the mathematical expression, that is the cup plus wet soil minus cup plus dry soil divided by cup plus dry soil minus of cup plus cup empty weight of cup, we can calculate what is the water content. And next one is the bulk density, because in initially first class I given the example bulk density means is nothing but a garden soil. You can expect a small amount of water content or moisture content in a saturated condition, but we don't know, we can't prove in a numerically what is the percentage, whether that is the 50 percentage or 60 percentage or 70 percentage. With the help of the moisture content determination we can find out what is the weight of soil, that is the bulk density. And next one is the dry density. Dry density is denoted by gamma d. Gamma d is equal to gamma b, that is the bulk density we already calculated with the help of the mathematical expression. With help of the mathematical expression, dry density divided by 1 plus W. With help of this mathematical expression we can calculate what is the dry density of soil. Usually the bulk density and dry density units are kilonewton per meter cube, newton per mm cube, or sometimes gram per cc or gram per centimeter cube. This is the general unit of bulk density and dry density of soil. With the help of bulk density, we can calculate the dry density of soil. That is, unit is denoted by gamma D. And next one is sand replacement method. Especially that is the road construction, flexible pavement or rigid pavement construction. We have to calculate what is the density of subgrade material. Means below the pavement, we compacted the soil surface. That soil surface we call it as a subgrade material. Okay, we have to calculate the subgrade material density with help of sand replacement method only, because in a subgrade material we can expect some of the coarse grain materials or boulders. Where the coarse grain materials or boulders are expected, then we can't go for the core cutter, we have to go for the sand replacement method only. Okay, what are the apparatus are required? Sand pouring cylinder, calibrating cylinder, clean and dry sand, metal tray with a central circular hole, balance is nothing but here, there is the weighing balance, glass spray, trowel and scraper tool, apparatus for the moisture content determination, means is nothing but a moisture content cup. These are the, that is the apparatus are required to calculate the sand replacement method. First one is the cylinder and tray, you can see, and the calibrating cylinder. What is the procedure? First, find out the, there is the field. Check it before testing the soil, before testing the material soil, whether there is the cohesive soil or cohesionless soil. It is cohesionless soil, then you have to go for the sand replacement method only. Before that, clean the surface. After the cleaning, put the, there is the mass cylinder and sand before pouring the hole. Means take down the sand plus there is the cylinder weight, that is W4. And next one, after that, insert the, that is the metal tray, and with the help of the excavator equipment operators, excavate the, that is the soil sample. At the same time, calculate the, what is the calibrating container length as well as the diameter. At the same proportion, you have to excavate it in a ground also. With help of the sand pouring cylinder, open the shutter, okay, and allow the sand to fill the excavated portion. After the fill the, there is the sand in excavated portion, close the shutter and take down the weight. There is the sand pouring cylinder weight. Now, initially, for example, first before pouring, that is 5 kg. After pouring, for example, that is 4.5 kg. Means 500 grams of sand is filled in the excavated cabin. Okay. Afterwards, what are the materials? That is the soil is excavated. That is the coarse grain soil is excavated. Take down the coarse grain soil material and with the help of the moisture content cup, fill the soil sample. Take down the number of cup, whether the cup number is 1, 2, 3, 4. Give the number to the cup. Take down the empty weight of the cup and insert the small amount of, that is the soil, coarse grain soil to the cup. Again take down the weight and insert in the oven after 24 hours at 105-degree temperature. Take down the weight, that is the soil, that is the cup plus dry soil sample. Now you can find out with the help of empty weight of the cup plus wet soil and cup plus dry soil, you can calculate what is the moisture content. With the help of the moisture content, then you can find out what is the field bulk density. With the help of the field bulk density, weight of, that is the excavated soil divided by volume of hole. Volume of excavated hole you can calculate with the help of the metal scale. You can find out the, what is the height of the excavated hole and diameter of excavated hole. With the help of the height and diameter, you can calculate what is the volume of hole. That is the field bulk density you can calculate. Afterwards, field dry density. Again, in a core cutter method also, we follow the same mathematical expression. That is gamma D is equal to gamma B divided by 1 plus W. Means usually these two methods, that is the core cutter method and the sand replacement method, these are the two methods we used to find out the density of soil for both cohesive soil and cohesionless soil. In examination, they may ask this question: how to find out the density of cohesive soil, that is the core cutter method, with the neat sketches, with the elaborate explanation. Then you have to write down the diagram or figure and tabular column, procedure, apparatus and resultant discussion. And some you can expect this question for 5 to 6 marks. Okay, 5 to 6 marks you can expect this question. And next one is, there is the sand replacement method. Sand replacement method, also you can expect this question in a different manner. In during the highway construction, as a civil engineer, as a highway engineer, how to calculate the density of soil, means these kinds of, that is that twisted question you can expect in geotechnical engineering. That is the highway engineering, means pavement construction, means that is a sand replacement method. In a sand replacement method, how you can conduct the sand replacement method? First, write down the apparatus, brief procedure, tabular column, and result and discussion with the neat sketches. Okay, then you can conclude the, that is the sand replacement method procedure. You can expect a sand replacement method for 5 to 6 marks in examination. Okay, this is the one of the important, that is the index property of soil, that is the density, core cutter method as well as the sand replacement method. And next one is, there is the particle size classification, is nothing but a sieve analysis. In a sieve analysis, there are the two different types of sieve analysis are there. First one is the wet sieve analysis and dry sieve analysis. Wet sieve analysis, wet sieve analysis, with the help of the hydrometer, we can calculate the silt and clay content. Dry sieve analysis means with the help of the set of sieves I already mentioned, that is the 4.75, 2.36, 1.18, 600, and 425, 300, 150 micron, 75 micron, and sieve and pan. Okay, with the help of this set of, that is the sieves, we can calculate what is the percentage of sand, gravel, silt, and the clay. This process is, we call it as a dry sieve analysis. Why it is important? Without knowing the silt and clay content, we can't design the foundation, and we can't estimate the bearing capacity of soil, and we can't conclude the what is the, there is the slope stability and the settlement and bulk density. We can't conclude. So that why silt and clay content is required, and what is the percentage of sand is there, what is the percentage of silt is there. Orally or physically we can tell silt content is more, or clay content is more, or sand content is more, but mathematically we can't conclude whether there is the 90%, 20%, or 10%. With the help of the dry sieve analysis, we can conclude with what is the percentage of, what is the percentage of silt, what is the percentage of clay, and what is the percentage of gravel. With the help of the dry sieve analysis, we can calculate this kind of material. And come to the wet sieve analysis. In the silt and clay, in the silt and clay, we can conclude what is the percentage of, that is the silt and clay. For example, silt and clay is 80%. What is the clay content, whether there is the 50 or 40? What is the silt content, whether what is the 20 or 30%? We don't know. We have to calculate the clay and silt content. With the help of the hydrometer, we can calculate what is the silt and clay content. Hydrometer is one of the equipment. We can go for the wet sieve analysis. We can find out what is the percentage of silt and clay content. Students, any doubts? Facing any doubts? Any doubts?
No, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Can anyone tell me what is the difference between cohesive soil and cohesionless soil? Can anyone? What is the difference between cohesive soil and cohesionless soil?
So plasticity is it's more for cohesive soil.
Any technical, there is the reasons we mentioned there is the 75 micron sieve sample. What are the materials are passing 75 micron sieve sample? We call it as an silt and clay like that. Okay. How you can find out the silt and clay content? How we can find out the silt and clay content? For example, if I want to quote silt is 80%, clay is 20%, which method I can go?
Specific gravity of soil, sir.
Huh? There is hydrometer analysis. With help of the hydrometer analysis, we can conclude or we can find out what is the percentage of silt and clay content, not specific gravity. Okay. With help of the specific gravity, what we can find out? Anyone? With help of specific gravity, what we can find out? Why it is important? Specific gravity. Why we have to calculate the specific gravity?
To
Hmm.
calculate the void ratio, sir.
Calculate void ratio. Why we have to calculate density of soil? Okay. Um, in the last class, I attached some of the textbooks. That is the textbooks and study material in your Google Classroom. Please find the attachment and download it. And those study materials only for your reference. Okay. And try to download the textbooks. Okay. I attached some of the important textbooks as per your syllabus. Please find the attachment. And now I will share the that is the Google form. There is the quiz in your chat box. USN1, USN1,
Yes, sir. Present.
USN1,
Present, sir.
2, USN2, USN3, USN4, USN6,
Present, sir.
USN7, USN7, USN9, USN9, USN10,
Present, sir.
USN12, USN13,
Present, sir.
USN 13,
Present, sir.
USN 15, USN 16,
Yes, sir.
USN 17,
Present, sir.
18, USN 18, USN 19,
Present, sir.
USN 20,
Present.
USN 20, USN 19,
So USN 19 present, sir.
okay, 21, 22,
Present, sir.
22, present,
Present, sir.
23, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27,
Present, sir.
29, 29, 30, 30, 31, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 35, 36,
Present, sir.
37, 37, 38, 40,
Sir, 37 present, sir.
38, 40, 41, 43,
Present, sir.
44,
Present, sir.
45,
Present, sir.
47,
Present, sir.
48,
Present, sir.
50,
Present, sir.
51, 52, 53, 54, 54,
Present, sir.
55,
Yes, sir.
56,
Yes, sir.
57, 58,
Present, sir.
59,
Yes, sir.
61, 61,
Present.
62,
Present, sir.
64,
Present, sir.
65,
Present, sir.
66, 16 series 49,
Present, sir.
17 series 18,
Yes, sir.
44, 17 CV 44,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
58, 58, 60, 17 series 67, Hummer 400,
Present, sir.
401, 402, 403, 404,
Present, sir.
405,
Present, sir.
Yes, sir.
Any doubts regarding this class? Any doubts? Any doubts?
No, sir.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Pa. Thank you.